Lives destroyed by human trafficking. The underground industry revealed tonight in the story of one survivor. Plus, what happened to more than 1 million pounds of food? We update you on the recent community food drive and the families it's helping now. And good news for Harry Potter fans, the latest book the famed author is working on.
It is a very mild evening here in central Illinois with a little bit of patchy fog starting to develop. The big story, though, is rain that's going to bring a big cool down. When the rain shows up, how much will fall, and just how chilly those temps will get. The news in HD starts now.
Central Illinois' most watched newscast. WAND News at 10.
It happens every day to innocent children right here in central Illinois, quite possibly people you see every day. Good evening, I'm Sean Streety.
And I'm Marianne Manco. Tonight we examine the global problem of human trafficking and the young victims forced into the sex and labor trades. But first, a warning, this story does deal with graphic material. WAND's Megan Odell is here with more.
Imagine being the victim of sexual abuse for years and finally having the courage to prosecute your abuser. But then the laws limit your time to tell. Why one survivor wants to do something to change these laws. It could be happening right down the road from you, or even right next door.
What gives them more control than to actually live with you and to be able to control you 24/7?
It's not just sexual, or it's not just labor. It can be a combination of all those things. So it's not your typical sex trade trafficking that we're dealing with here in this central region.
Human trafficking and its victims aren't always the ones you hear about in a foreign country. And the ones who commit these crimes aren't some scary stranger. They're trusted family members.
I gave you that teddy bear when it was your turn to go in with our parents. Do you remember that? She goes, "What'd you do with that teddy bear?" "I gave that teddy bear to you." Because she goes, "I gave you that teddy bear so you would be safe when you went in there."
Calling me upstairs while my brother and sister were watching TV and using his favorite shotgun barrel to rip my insides apart.
Since finding her strength after enduring more than 30 years of abuse, Patricia McKnight now pours her efforts into changing laws that surround human trafficking and speaking to groups like students at the University of Illinois in Springfield.
Forced servitude, forced sexual interactions, exploitations, and trafficking of young children. They normally only have a 1 year after 18th birthday. We need 20 years. We need them to have time.
Time necessary to heal for all victims. For more information on how you can join the petition to change these laws, head to our website at WANDTV.com and click on Site Watch. I'm Megan Odell, WAND News.
Night 3 of Joe Bauer's return to WAND. It's been fun so far, and Joe has been my mentor for many, many years, so it's been a lot of fun having the Weather Center, and it's fun to talk weather with somebody else besides myself.
Yeah, people actually understand and listen, and yes. I don't think you're a dork when you do.
That's good. I hope
that's
so.
Good news.
Yes, that's a good thing. You know, the fog again this morning, kind of a tough go of things, but it burned away really quickly this morning.
It did, and we got warmed up today, and the cool down's coming.
It is coming, and wait till you see the 7-day forecast in just a little bit. This guy's going to tell you all about it here in a few seconds. Outside, though, right now, temperatures very, very mild tonight. We've got a lot of moisture in the air, but the air temperature has not cooled down close enough to that dew point yet. We are seeing a little bit of patchy fog in some locations, and I still think, though, tonight not going to be as foggy as what it has been over the last couple of nights. Our Pogue Cadillac Buick GMC of Forsyth Tower Cam shows the South Shores area. Still good visibility on the south side of Decatur, but again, visibility will reduce a little bit overnight tonight. We'll go ahead and say a partly cloudy sky, a little bit of patchy fog. Overnight lows only dropping a couple more degrees from where we're at now. I think upper 50s by 4 a.m. Out the door tomorrow morning, grab the shades, a little bit of patchy fog, so maybe give yourself a little extra time early, 60 degrees. Coming up, a big cool down is headed our way. When it arrives and how chilly those temperatures will get in just a little bit.
Another record was set in the recent community food drive in Decatur, but it's not the end of giving in central Illinois. WAND's Ashley Avaya has more on how the community is sharing this holiday season.
Word on the street is that the Macon County community is quite generous when it comes to thinking Thanksgiving. And even after setting yet another record in this year's community food drive, you're still willing and ready to give to families in need. Not even a week after Halloween, but stores are ready for Christmas. But in Macon County, you're thinking Thanksgiving.
This community that we live in is just amazing. The generosity, the willingness to help us feed the thousands that are facing, food insecurity. They don't know where their next meal's coming from.
Now, many of those families can get help. In the community food drive this year, members donated over 1.2 million pounds in dollars for food. And that, once sorted, is taken to Catholic Charities Food Pantry to help food insecure families.
Pantry's open to the public. And if someone is in need of food assistance, they just need to present themselves to our food pantry.
And even after setting another record, the community isn't done. It's time for the Judy Mason Thanksgiving Basket Project.
Our project happens in November, just 1 month after. I am always astounded that our community is so giving on the heels of the food drive to then give more to provide for this Thanksgiving Basket Project.
Rather than donating food, this project needs your time and money.
Need roughly $100,000. Each box feeds a family of 5, and each box costs about $25. So roughly you could feed a family of 5 for a donation of $25.
And for 4,000 baskets, that's about $100,000. But if donating time is what you desire, Saturdays in November, you can do that too.
You just come and show up, no RSVP necessary. Children over 5 are welcome. Show up and we'll put you to work.
And for both groups, it's not just about that one day, but about helping families in need across Macon County. And if you want to volunteer or need food, all the information about volunteering or the food pantry is on our website. Indicator Ashley Avaya, WAND News.
Ashley, thanks. Now here's more of what's making news. Molina Healthcare will host a free health fair. Indicator, that fair will have health and wellness information, diabetes, and dental screenings. It's open to the public and is at the Boys and Girls Club on Jasper Street. The fair is from 10 a.m. until 1 this Friday.
The 20-year-old Champaign man who damaged a 9-foot menorah at the University of Illinois is getting a second chance. The state's attorney says this is Max Christie here. He will enroll in the felony second chance program. Christie also has to complete community service hours and pay for the damages, estimated at over $2,000. But if he passes all those requirements, his felony charge will be dropped down to a misdemeanor. The Illinois Supreme Court rejecting a $10.1 billion class action lawsuit against cigarette maker Philip Morris. That lawsuit claimed the cigarette maker deceptively marketed low tar and light Marlboro cigarettes as a healthier alternative. The ruling still allows for the plaintiffs to file a direct appeal.
Looking ahead to tomorrow, it's the 6th leading cause of death and no cure. We're talking about Alzheimer's disease. A closer look at the growing numbers, options for care, and support for families in my special report tomorrow night at 10, The Longest Goodbye. Reducing air pollution for cleaner air, that's the goal behind a new lawsuit the state is bringing to federal court. Who's against the idea? Next on WAND News at 10.
Central Illinois' most watched newscast. WAND News at 10.
Illinois has filed a lawsuit to bring down emission levels from power plants. Illinois is joining 17 other states in supporting limits on new domestic power plants. While Illinois is supporting the Environmental Protection Agency decisions, more than 24 other states are challenging the new standards in President Obama's Clean Power Plan to reduce greenhouse gas emissions, including Indiana, Missouri, and Wisconsin.
JC loves to talk weather, so he wants to bring back Wild Weather Wednesday.
It's awesome. This is so much fun. I love this episode. This is going to be great.
You got to say Wild Weather Wednesday.
You got to say it just
I got to have like the Baywatch moment too, like the hair blowing in the wind.
I like it. And while it may be fall, but it's still a winter wonderland in Northern California as the western region is being pelted by snow and rain.
It's kind of crazy. According to officials, rain began falling early yesterday morning, but then quickly turned over to snow this morning. Some areas could see as much as 8 inches of the white stuff, with temperatures only reaching the low 40s. Higher up in the mountains, the snow was heavier. These weather conditions, people say, gathered for a little snowball fight or even doing a little sledding. It is November, right? But the wet weather is expected to diminish by tonight, and everything will be pretty much back to normal tomorrow morning on the roadways there. That is the system that we are watching heading in our direction. Don't worry, none of that.
Our first measurable snowfall.
Let's not, you put those words in my mouth. No snow is expected here in central Illinois, but we will see the precipitation from that particular event arriving in here during the daytime tomorrow. Joe will have a look at that.
So things are changing soon enough.
Things are going to be changing. We're talking about a big cool down as well. Let's talk about today. It was nice, wasn't it?
Another nice, comfortable temperature-wise.
Felt nice.
Sun was out.
November 2nd, or is this the middle of October across the area? Highs today made it into the low to mid 70s. You can tell where the fog and clouds lingered a little bit longer. 69 in Springfield, Taylorville, 65 degrees in Carlinville, 73 in the Soy City, while the warm spots, Bloomington, Champaign, Danville, and Paris, all checking in at 74, well above the average of 59. The last time it was this warm in November, we have to go all the way back to November the 11th, 2010, when we hit 75 degrees. 73 to 44 was our range today. That's well above the averages of 59 and 39, but the record high of 80 stands for another year. Takes us back to 1978. Coming up after the break, Joe is going to let us know when the rain arrives, how much falls, and just how chilly your weekend will be. Stick with us.
This portion of the news on WAND is brought to you by your local Ford dealers.
Stall's tower cam showing a little bit of fog in central Illinois. We're not going to be seeing it as widespread or as dense overnight tonight as we have the past couple of nights, which is good news because fog is not a lot of fun to forecast. Temperatures across central Illinois roughly 60 to 64 degrees, 61 degrees in Watseka. It's one of my favorite city names to say besides Mowequa. That is indeed my favorite. 61 down in Carlinville and 63 degrees right now in Springfield. Dew points, very moist. This is going to allow us to have a decent chance for some showers, possibly some thunderstorms into Thursday night into Friday morning as well, but we'll wait to see what happens with that when we get there. Visibility is now not really restricted too much across central Illinois at this point, and again, tomorrow morning it's going to be a little bit spotty. Some places visibility is not going to be impacted at all. Some places it is going to be impacted quite a bit. So allow yourself a little bit of extra time again tomorrow. Satellite, we took the background off again so we could see the low clouds or some fog making its way into central Illinois. Not much to speak of now. Hit and miss as far as this is concerned. This is going to let us cool off just a little bit more. But with that moisture in the air, we won't be getting awfully cool into tonight. Here's the setup that we have going on right now. It's still pretty impressive. The low pressure system that we've been watching now for several days is still back out to our west, slowly making its way off towards the east. The high pressure center that has been in our region for some time is still continuing to make its way out. But until this low passes us, we're going to continue with our winds being out of the south. This is going to allow the moisture to continue to come back in. This is also going to allow things to try to heat up just a little bit more into tomorrow, and this will give us a little bit better chance for some rain. Precision cast into 7 o'clock tomorrow morning. Notice not a whole lot going on. Few clouds here and there, maybe some fog. During the early afternoon hours, 12 o'clock, still the rain's not really showing up. But into the later afternoon parts, into the early evening, we're starting to see some hit and miss showers and possible thunderstorms coming in. Then the bigger stuff makes its way through during the evening hours until about midnight tomorrow. Then ever so slowly, we're going to start to see this front come in. And once that does, we're going to have our clouds blast on out. And by Friday, 7 to 10 a.m., we should be just about cloud-free, enjoying a partly cloudy day the way it's shaping up right now. Clouds pretty much completely gone by the time we get through your day on Friday. Rain totals a quarter to maybe 6,500ths of an inch. This stuff is going to come through pretty spotty. So we'll keep an eye on those totals for you and update those again into tomorrow. Here's our mild air kind of making its way on in. Here's the front. The cooler air is coming in back behind it. The timing of these showers and thunderstorms is probably going to limit the severe potential of these storms. Maritime tropical air makes its way out. Continental polar air makes its way in. That was for my weather class. We are going to be seeing the cooler air continuing to push on through. Severe outlook, like I said, tomorrow generally limited because of what we have going on with the timing of the storms. Low pressure to our northeast, high pressure to our southwest, bringing in those cooler temperatures. Things are going to be getting a little bit frosty. Not really, but cooler towards the weekend. Lows overnight, low to mid 50s. Highs into tomorrow, low to mid 70s. Precision cast. We discussed this. It's going to be about 73 or 72 degrees into tomorrow. We're hoping that that's going to get banking on it this time. By golly, 0 for 2. It's terrible. Feel like the Cubs. 58 degrees overnight, partly cloudy skies with patchy fog. Tomorrow we'll start the day off with a little bit of fog, showers, scattered showers, and possible thunderstorms into the afternoon. 7-day forecast. Look for a much, much cooler weekend. Very nice. Breezy on Saturday. Slow warm up and possibly some rain heading into Veterans Day. We'll be right back.
Well, move over, Harry Potter. A different saga continues for famed author J.K. Rowling.
She's working on her newest book, who she's writing it for, and her other projects next on WAND News at 10. Harry Potter.
Kudos to the Champaign Public Library, who just received a national honor, 4 out of 5 stars. It's all part of the Star Library status, placing it among the top 3% nationwide. The rating recognizes libraries that lead in the community engagement, the number of items checked out, library visits, program attendance, and public internet use, as well as its ability to provide the resources people need. Over 7,000 other libraries were considered.
All right, listen up, Harry Potter fans. J.K. Rowling says she's working on a new book. You just have to wait a bit longer. The author says she doesn't want to abandon children's fiction. Currently, she's writing detective novels, working on a screenplay for her book, Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them. She said she's written part of a children's book that she really loves and that she'll definitely finish it. We'll keep you updated, I hope. Matt here's with sports, already getting set for Saturday. More football.
Yeah, we're counting down to it. Another busy one. 24 local teams playing. Hard to fit all the stories into a week. I hear you, Sangamon Valley fans. One of 23 teams we're not talking about tonight. We'll get to you. But a good one in Decatur and a new one if you're 22 or younger. Eisenhower hosting a second-round game against the highest-scoring team in state playoff history. The Panthers' plan of attack next. 80 points. Many high school basketball teams won't reach that single game mark this season, but that's what the Central High School football team did on Saturday, and now Eisenhower, hosting their first playoff game in 23 years, will have to try and figure out how to stop them. The Panthers did allow 70-plus points in back-to-back weeks to open the season, but they've won 7 of 8 since. We caught up with the Panthers at their Wednesday practice as they've gone over the tape and come up with the best way to match up against the Maroons.
We got to be able to run the football on them. I think that's one thing, Jacksonville had to get away from when they were down so much and just live on the pass, and they covered it very effectively.
As long as we keep the middle secure, they shouldn't do much. It's just we got to be able to tackle and wrap up, and they shouldn't put up 80 on us.
Well, it's the only football game in Macon County on Saturday. Maroons-Panthers set for a 1 o'clock kickoff. We'll have highlights Saturday at 6 and 10. Now, it's far from the only game we're tracking. However, 18 games involving 24 local teams happening around the state. Be sure to head to WANDTV.com. Click on sports. You'll find links to first-round highlights as well as a full schedule, dates, times, and locations for round 2. Stick with WAND as we wrap up another busy Saturday, and we have coverage all week. While we're at it, be sure to tune in this weekend to Inside the Illini. Big Ten football is always great insight from our guest experts as the Illini try to right the ship in a matchup with Purdue this weekend. The show airs Saturday morning at 10 here on WAND. We'll also have post-game coverage from West Lafayette. A pair of VIU defenders were added to the College Football Performance Award watch list. D-end Dino Fonte and linebacker Kamu Gruje-Hill are on watch for an award that goes to the top FCS player at each position. Gruje-Hill ranks 9th in the country in tackles for loss and 27th in sacks. MLB free agency. Yes, talking baseball. The White Sox have declined a $10 million option on shortstop Alexi Ramirez. The former All-Star, a $1 million buyout. Ramirez now a free agent. The White Sox do have the option of negotiating a new deal with him. He spent his entire career with the White Sox. NHL high-scoring game in Chicago between the Blackhawks and the Blues. First period 1-1. Andrew Shaw, a penalty shot, and he nails it. 2-1. Later, Teuvo Teravainen. You'll see him picking up some trash there. Hawks went up 5-2 after a period, and they gave it all back. 5-4, David Backes with the equalizer sent us to overtime, and this one, love overtime now. 3-on-3 hockey, barely more than a minute to go in the 5-minute period. Vladimir Tarasenko right under Corey Crawford's glove, and there it is. 6-5, Blues take it.
The play of the day on WAND is brought to you by Menards.
What was the best shot tonight that didn't count? Celtics' Jay Crowder trying for the deep inbounds pass, and it goes in. Now, because it has to touch somebody inbounds before it goes in, the 94-footer is instead a turnover. Boston, by the way, lost by 2 tonight. So a costly turnover, but we're impressed, Jay, nonetheless. Stick around. One more look at the forecast is next.
Here's who's making a difference in your community.
The Good Samaritan Award is given to a Central Illinois Food Bank partner going above and beyond in the fight against hunger in Central Illinois. And this year, the award will be given to the Horace Mann Companies, which held food and fun drives, as well as 2 charity golf outings, bringing in more than 78 grand in donations and over 22,000 pounds in food donations. If you know someone making a difference, tell us about it on our webpage, WANDTV.com. Just click on community.
All right, special guest meteorologist Joe Bauer. It's been fun having you the past few days.
It's been fun. I'm out for a couple of weeks, but don't worry.
He'll be back.
I'll be back.
We'll put him in the pen. Got to get the arm nice and warmed up, ready to go again.
He'll be back.
He'll be back. Yeah, exactly. It's been a blast, too. It's always fun to work with Joe.
Time.
It's been, gosh, 14 years since we've actually worked together.
Yeah.
It's like you never missed a beat.
Doesn't feel like it on the inside. I've been nervous.
The knees were knocking, shoulders were rocking. It's all right. You did a great job.
Love it, though.
We're looking forward to having him back at the end of the month. And the weather tonight, not that bad out there. Partly cloudy skies, a little bit of patchy fog. Very mild out the door in the morning. Still maybe give yourself a couple of extra minutes, as I could see some pockets of some denser fog in some locations. Not like it was over the past couple of nights. 72 tomorrow. Rain arrives late afternoon, continues into very early Friday morning. But look at the weekend. Much cooler with highs in the mid-50s.
That change is coming. All right, boys, thanks for being here.
We'll see you again tomorrow night. Good night.
Good night.